enter the world of enchantment. Step through the silver gate to the land where sprites and fairies, hags and mermaids wait. Explore the soaring mountains, lakes and forests deep, stormy seas and snowscapes, a haunted castle keep. The first verse of this poem by Jill Davies introduces us to worlds far beyond the four walls of the bedrooms and kitchens we've all been confined to for most of the year. For my recital today, I wanted to escape all of that and take us to magical lands where they've never heard of online schooling or lockdown. The first of these places is a magical wood just outside Athens, where a young fairy is preparing for the arrival of her fairy queen when she's rudely interrupted by a mischievous sprite. Boo! How now, spirit, whither wander you? The king doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed, queen, come not within his sight. For Oberon is passing, fell and wrath, because that she has her attendant's hack, a lovely boy, stolen from an Indian king. She never had so sweet a changeling. A jealous Oberon would have the child, knight of his train, to trace the forest's world. But she perforce withholds the loved boy, crowns him in flowers and makes him all her joy. Ugh! And now they never meet in grove or green, by fountain clear or spangled starlight sheen. But they do swear that all their elves for fear creep into acorn cups and hide them there. Thou speaks right. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest to Oberon and make him smile when I a fat and bean-fed horse beguile, neighing in likeness of a filly foal. And sometime lurk I in gossip's bowl, in very likeness of a roasted crab, and when she drinks, against her lips I bob, and on her withered dewlap pour the ale. The wisest hearts tell it the saddest tale. Sometime for 3-foot stool mistaketh me, then slip I from her bum, down topples she, and Dela cries and falls into a cough, and waxing in their mirth and knees and swear, a merrier hour was never wasted there. But room, fairy, here comes Oberon. Old Park is completely at home in this magical wood. My next character couldn't be more lost and confused when she falls down a rabbit hole and finds herself in Wonderland. In this extract, Alice meets the Queen of Hearts for the first time. When the procession came opposite to Alice, they all stopped and looked at her, and the Queen said severely, "Who is this?" "My name is Alice, so please your Majesty," said Alice, very politely, but she added to herself, "Why, they're only a pack of cards after all. I needn't be afraid of them." "And who are these?" said the Queen, pointing to the 3 gardeners who were lying around the rose tree. "How should I know?" said Alice, surprised at her own courage. "It's no business of mine." The Queen turned crimson with fury, and, after glaring at her for a moment, began screaming, "Off with her head! Off with—" "Nonsense," said Alice, very loudly and decidedly, and the Queen was silent. The King laid his hand upon her arm and timidly said, "Consider, my dear, she's only a child." The Queen turned angrily away from him and said to the knave, "Turn them over." The knave did so very carefully with 1 foot. "Get up!" said the Queen in a shrill, loud voice, and the 3 gardeners instantly jumped up. What have you been doing here? She screamed. May it please your majesty, said two in a very humble tone. We were trying. I see, said the queen, who had meanwhile been examining the roses. Off with their heads. And the procession moved on. 3 soldiers remained behind to execute the unfortunate gardeners, who ran to Alice for protection. You shan't be beheaded, said Alice, and she put them in a large flower pot that stood near. The 3 soldiers wandered about for a minute or two, looking for them, and then quietly marched off after the others. Are their heads off? Shouted the queen. Their heads are gone, if it please your majesty, the soldiers shouted in reply. That's right, shouted the queen. Can you play croquet? The soldiers were silent and looked at Alice, as the question was evidently meant for her. Yes, shouted Alice. Come on then, roared the queen, and Alice joined the procession, wondering very much what would happen next. It's clear from Alice's adventures in Wonderland that magical places can have more than their fair share of dangers, and perhaps we should think twice before stepping into the unknown. The rest of the poem by Jill Davies also comes with a warning. Enter the world of enchantment. Step through the arch of gold to the land where spells are made and ancient tales are told. Bring courage in your heart, for there are dangers here to brave. Sorcerers and serpents, fiery dragons in their caves. Enter the world of enchantment. Step through the mirror glass to a land that holds you spellbound as wraiths and goblins pass. Sing with feasting elves, dance where demons fly. Enter the world of enchantment before the chance slips by. Whether there are serpents and dragons, as the poem suggests, or wicked queens as imagined by Lewis Carroll, I do hope I'd be brave enough to enter those enchanted worlds if the opportunity arose. With a face mask and hand sanitizer, of course. I'd like to leave you with the last words of that mischievous sprite, Puck. If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle theme, no more yielding, but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. And, as I am an honest Puck, if we have unearned luck, now to escape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long. Else the Puck a liar call. So, good night unto you all. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends. Thank you for watching.